If you're like me, every autumn you look out at the sea of fallen leaves and feel two emotions at once: awe at their beauty and dread at the cleanup ahead. Many gardeners see leaves as a messy problem to rake, bag, and toss away. But here's the thing: fall leaves are pure gold for your garden. They're nature's way of giving us free mulch, compost material, and even a boost for our soil's long-term health. But there's a catch. If you're not careful, you could be making some big mistakes with those leaves. Mistakes that rob your garden of nutrients, waste your time, and in some cases, even harm your plants. That's why today we're digging deep into the 8 biggest mistakes gardeners make with fall leaves and how you can turn them into your garden's secret weapon. Let's jump in. This is probably the biggest mistake of all, and one I see everywhere. Those black trash bags stuffed with leaves. They make me cringe because it's literally like bagging up fertilizer and soil food and shipping it to the landfill. Instead of tossing leaves, keep them in your garden system. Shred them and use them as mulch, add them to your compost pile, or even pile them up to decompose naturally. By keeping leaves on your property, you're closing the nutrient loop and feeding your soil rather than depleting it. Now, I'm all about leaving leaves where they fall whenever possible, but leaving thick, wet mats of leaves on your grass can smother it, leading to yellow patches, mold, and fungal issues. The solution? Mow over them with a mulching mower. Chopped leaves filter down into the grass, acting like a natural fertilizer, or rake them up lightly and use them around your garden beds. Either way, don't let a soggy blanket of leaves choke out your lawn. Whole leaves, especially big ones like oak or sycamore, tend to mat down when wet, blocking air and water from reaching the soil. That creates a problem for both your plants and your soil microbes. Run leaves through a shredder or even your mower before using them as mulch. Shredded leaves break down faster, allow better airflow, and stay put rather than blowing away. They also create a fluffier layer of mulch that's easier for plant roots to breathe under. If you've ever added a mountain of leaves to your compost pile and wondered why it isn't breaking down, here's why. Leaves are browns, high in carbon. Compost needs a balance of browns and greens, nitrogen-rich material like grass clippings, kitchen scraps, or manure. If your compost pile is 90% leaves, it'll sit there like a dry lasagna. But if you mix leaves with greens, you'll get that perfect, hot, crumbly compost gardeners dream of. A good rule of thumb: 3 parts shredded leaves to 1 part greens. Turn the pile every couple of weeks and you'll be amazed at how fast it transforms. This one isn't just a mistake, it's a missed opportunity. When you spread shredded leaves over your soil, you're not just feeding plants, you're feeding earthworms, fungi, and countless beneficial microbes. Too many gardeners think only about the top layer of their garden, plants. But the real magic happens underground. Leaves provide the organic matter that soil life craves, and in return, that soil life makes nutrients more available to your plants. Ignore this and you're overlooking one of the most powerful benefits of fall leaves. Not all leaves are created equal. If your trees had problems like powdery mildew, apple scab, or rust during the growing season, those fungal spores can overwinter in fallen leaves. If you just pile them around your plants, you risk spreading those diseases again next year. The fix? Don't waste those leaves, just compost them hot. A well-managed compost pile that heats up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius will kill off most pathogens, or you can shred and use them on pathways rather than directly around plants. The key is to be smart about where and how you recycle leaves if they come from diseased trees. Here's one of gardening's best-kept secrets: leaf mold. If you've never heard of it, it's basically leaves that have broken down over time into a dark, crumbly, earthy material. It's not exactly compost, it's more fungal than bacterial, but it's incredible for soil structure, water retention, and microbial diversity. Alright, so here's what you need to do. Just pile up those shredded leaves in a corner of your garden, keep them nice and moist, and let nature take its course. It does take a bit longer than regular composting, usually a year or two. But oh boy, the result is a rich amendment your garden will absolutely thank you for. If you're bagging and tossing leaves, well, you're missing out on this little bit of magic. This last mistake, it's really more about mindset than technique, you know? Too many gardeners treat leaves as a once-a-year headache instead of the year-round resource they truly are. When managed right, fall leaves can supply mulch for your bed's carbon for your compost insulation for overwintering plants and organic matter for your soil. If you collect and store them, you can use them throughout the year, topping up compost refreshing mulch or even mixing them into new raised beds. Isn't that something? So hey, stop thinking of leaves as waste. Instead, think of them as free gold, delivered right to your garden every fall. When I see gardeners raking leaves into plastic bags, I always want to knock on their doors and say, "Do you realize what you're throwing away?" Fall leaves are honestly one of the easiest, cheapest, and most powerful ways to build healthy soil. But, only if you avoid these mistakes. So the next time your yard is covered in a blanket of gold, don't curse it, celebrate it, shred it, mulch it, compost it, store it. Use it wisely and your garden will reward you with richer soil, healthier plants, and bigger harvests. I'd love to hear how you use fall leaves in your garden. Have you tried making leaf mold? Do you mulch with shredded leaves? Or maybe you've had a compost pile that struggled because of too many browns? Share your experiences in the comments. I learn as much from this community as you do from me. And if you found this guide useful, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Power on YouTube and share this with a fellow gardener who might still be bagging up their leaves. Let's spread the word, fall leaves aren't trash, they're treasure.